Somewhat lost in the chaos of the past year is a shift in language that has profound implications for open democracies. Fringe extremists, nationalists and racist groups have tried to portray their cause as a battle for free speech. That's a common trope of right-wing provocateurs. The most famous example, so far, has been the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, in which alt-right and other extreme right groups gathered, in an event that turned violent, leaving one counter-demonstrator dead. Google search data even shows a link between the term free speech and the August 2017 event. Some of Milo Yiannopoulos' most provocative events have been staged under the banner of free speech, a claim repeated to defend his visit to Australia. Part of today's political crisis stems from this cultivated confusion that conflates freedom of expression with extremist ideas such as racial superiority, or blanket bans on people based on their religion, as long as it's Islam. Get the latest news and updates emailed straight to your inbox. By submitting your email, you are agreeing to Fairfax Media's terms and conditions and privacy policy. Ideas, in other words, that are frankly incompatible with a modern democracy. Yet, co-opting words like freedom and justice, which stand for ideas central to democracy, only increases divisions within political society. This trend has infected a number of debates in Australia, most notably the same-sex marriage debate, which former Prime Minister Tony Abbott tried to make about free speech and political correctness, and the debate about the right to be a bigot in the Rights Attack on Discrimination Law through Section 18C of the Racial Discrimination Act. The linguistic judo moves by far-right and alt-right trolls are made much easier to pull off with the proliferation of the internet and social media. One tactic of globalized extremist movements is to coordinate efforts while using more mainstream language to draw in more would-be followers. A recent report by UK-based Institute for Strategic Dialogue on nationalist movements concluded, white supremacist movements managed to penetrate the mainstream by strategically framing their fringe narratives through the socially more acceptable lens of freedom of speech and criticism of multiculturalism, the globalist elites and political correctness. This effort is aided tremendously by bots, trolls, and rapidly created websites. In fact, this technology can significantly boost the voice of a smaller number of people, using it in a coordinated effort. Tools and tactics applied to social media and the internet have uncoupled the noise made by an online crowd from its actual size, or location. Consequently, smaller numbers of people, using social media can make events appear bigger than they are. As destabilizing as this battle for influence is, there is a precedent for rejecting the free speech argument as a defense for divisive tactics meant to corrode broader political discourse. In the 1950s, American philosopher Sidney Hook wrote that the concept of free speech carried with it the expectation that the competition in the free market of ideas will be honestly conducted. Hook made a distinction between heresy, arguing radically different and controversial ideas, and conspiracy, which involved speech and actions to undermine the entire political system.